Hey, it's your boy CyberDev here, and we are back with another week of cybersecurity news. We've officially entered the sci-fi became real era. AI copilots meant to help you can now leak your sensitive business files without you having to lift a finger. Hackers are breaking into Salesforce setup accounts due to misconfigurations, and international cops just took down over 20,000 Infostealer domains in one coordinated strike. Today's episode dives into these breaking stories and more. Global data smacks, code swaps, and browser bugs that take us right back to the 2000s. Let's start with the first one. Microsoft 365 Copilot EchoLeak attack. Researchers at AIM Labs exposed a zero-click vulnerability called EchoLeak, one that lets attackers silently extract sensitive data through Microsoft 365 Copilot's AI interface. No phishing, no clicks. Just send in a malicious-looking document or email that tricks Copilot into exfiltrating your info. This attack exploits the very feature that makes Copilot useful, such as Microsoft Graph API integration and organizational context search. The vulnerability CVE 2025-32711 allows threat actors to inject malicious prompts, indirectly bypassing the app's built-in protections. It impacts how Copilot parses user data and metadata for emails, SharePoint, OneDrive, and Teams, making it a high-value vector for stealing intellectual property, contracts, internal messages, or personal documents without detection. Now, some of the key points in this, CVE 2025-32711 has a CVSS score of 9.3, which bypasses multiple Copilot protections, including prompt classifiers, link redaction, and content security policies. This introduces a new threat class. The lesson in this isn't your standard injection. This is Gen AI confusion at its core. LLMs can't always tell the difference between a prompt and a command, hidden inside a trusted context. AI security needs to be baked in, not bolted on. And our next one, Salesforce OmniStudio misconfigurations. Aaron Costello from App Omni dropped a bombshell. 5 zero-day flaws with 15 risky misconfiguration in Salesforce OmniStudio. While some vulnerabilities were patched automatically, 2 critical ones require manual remediation to secure data that could otherwise be accessed in plain text. These vulnerabilities enable attackers to bypass field-level permissions and expose encrypted or sensitive data through the misuse of components such as data mapper and flex cards. The danger here, organizations using Salesforce for regulated sectors such as healthcare, finance, and government could unknowingly be out of compliance with HIPAA, GDPR, and SOX. The impact of the CVE 2025-43967 exposes encrypted data due to data mapper flaw CVE 2025-43698, which bypasses field-level security in flex cards CVE 2025-43699 through 43701. Various privilege and exposure flaws in Omni UI card and custom settings. The lesson is, low code doesn't mean low risk. You still need dev grade controls, testing, and audits on these business tools. Don't get caught sleeping on platform configuration hygiene. It's very important. In our next segment, Microsoft and Adobe Patch Tuesday brought the heat. Microsoft patched 67 vulnerabilities, including CVE 2025-33053 and a WebDAV remote code execution flaw, which actively exploited in the wild. Another notable fix, CVE 2025-33073, a privilege escalation flaw in the Windows SMB client. On the Adobe side, 254 vulnerabilities were patched, with a vast majority of over 220 affecting Adobe Experience Manager, Reader, Acrobat, InDesign, and even Substance 3D Suite got security updates. While there are no current exploits, the breadth of the affected products makes this one of the biggest Adobe patch cycles in years. Don't just update your operating system. Check that dusty old Adobe Reader, Acrobat, and AEM. And remember, patching is only half the game. Monitoring and validation finish the play. Chrome and Firefox, high-severity vulnerabilities. Both Google and Mozilla dropped updates for browser flaws that could let attackers exploit you through nothing more than a crafted web page. Chrome CVE 2025-58 involves a heap corruption issue in the media component, while CVE 2025 allows sandbox escape via a flaw in the V8 engine. Firefox's 49709 and 49710 could result in memory corruption through canvases, rendering, or JS engine abuse. The combined CVSS scores for these bugs range from 8.8 to 9.8, and are all remotely exploitable under specific conditions. Researchers like the Ants Group's Lightyear Lab were rewarded for helping catch these threats early. The lesson in this: these are browser-level attacks that can be exploited via a single web page. Close your browser daily, set auto updates, reward researchers who report these bugs, like the $8,000 bounty Google just paid. Circling back on a previous story, ConnectWise certificate rotation. ConnectWise began rotating code sign-in certificates for Screen Connect, Automate, and RMM after researchers found insecure handling of installer configuration data. This move affects on-premises users who were urged to update before June 13th to avoid outages. While unrelated to last month's nation-state intrusion, this proactive rotation highlights the critical importance of code sign-in to software trust. Certificate reuse across products had created a single point of risk, and the updates now isolate trust chains across product lines. Code sign-in matters, and so does certificate management. If your software vendor is issuing a cert change, treat it like a patch, because it is a trusted anchor. Now, let's get international with it. INTERPOL takes down 20,000 plus Infostealer domains. Operation Secure, led by INTERPOL in 26 other countries, dismantled over 20,000 domains hosting or controlling Infostealer malware. They seized 41 servers, made 32 arrests, and directly notified over 216,000 victims to take urgent action. Malware families included Luma, Metastealer, and RisePearl. Infostealers that silently extract passwords, browser cookies, cryptocurrency wallet information, and save credentials from infected systems. Law enforcement partnered with Group IB, Kaspersky, and Trend Micro to analyze threat logs and C2 infrastructure before taking them offline. Some of the key stats in this: data stolen, password, cookies, crypto wallets, C2 servers, over 117 across 89 ISPs. The lesson in this: Infostealers are one of the most underhyped threats in security. Always update your credentials, rotate your cookies, and check what apps you connected to your Google or Microsoft accounts, because you never know if your information is being used elsewhere. The Texas Department of Transportation reported a breach of their Crash Records Information Systems, or CRIS, that resulted in the theft of nearly 300,000 crash records. Attackers used compromised credentials to access a service account and download data, including names, addresses, driver's license, numbers, insurance details, vehicle info, and the injury reports. What makes this alarming? The attackers pulled crash narratives too, meaning there's sensitive context to about who was in the car, what happened, and who else was involved. The lesson in this: MFA and access control granularity would have stopped this. Just because it's a government organization doesn't mean it's locked down. If you live in Texas, freeze your credit and stay alert. South Korea's Yes24 ransomware shuts down events. Yes24, a major e-commerce platform in South Korea, was hit with ransomware that shut down their ticketing services for concerts and events. Customers were unable to log in. Concerts were delayed and ticket holders were turned away. Initially labeled as maintenance, the truth emerged 2 days later. It was a cyber attack. South Korea's data watchdog and the Internet and Security Agency are now investigating. While access to admin accounts has reportedly been restored, service was down for nearly a week. The lesson in this: always have a break glass plan to restore admin access and notify users transparently. And maybe keep a paper ticket handy just in case. In our next one, Marks & Spencer slowly recovers from attack. Marks & Spencer, one of UK's retail icons, suffered a major cyber attack back in April, likely ransomware. They just resumed online orders with limited functionality, standard shipping only, no click and collect. Many items are still out of stock. The company estimates a £300 million revenue loss from the attack, citing disruptions to logistics, inventory systems, and order fulfillment. This had to brief the London Stock Exchange and conduct a phased reopening over 6 weeks. The lesson in this: attackers on retail don't just hurt websites, they shake consumers' trust. Full stack recovery planning, PR coordination, and clear status updates go a long way. To keep it over in Europe, Denmark dumps Microsoft for LibreOffice and Linux. Denmark's Ministry of Digitization is shifting from Microsoft Office and Windows to LibreOffice and Linux. Half the ministry's employees will switch this summer. The rest may follow by fall. This move is part of Denmark's broader digital sovereignty strategy, which aims to reduce dependence on US-based cloud providers and take control of its data infrastructure. It echoes a similar shift in Germany and France, where EU states explore open source alternatives for independence and cost control. It's always about control over data and infrastructure. However, the shift comes with real costs, including training, compatibility issues, and user pushback. Still, Europe's tech independence movement is growing. Internet StormCast highlights. These are some quick fire headlines. EchoLeak gets deeper analysis from SANS and security pros. KDE console can be exploited via telnet links to execute commands. URL vulnerability, POC for SMB privilege escalation, CVE 2025-33073, released online. These threats are proof that threats evolve daily. Keep up with your SANS updates, automate patch management, and sandbox suspicious files before clicking. AI authority and accountability. From AI bots leaking data to countries cutting ties with big tech, we're seeing a shift in how we define control. EchoLeak reminded us that even tools meant to help us can betray us if not built securely. Global takedowns such as those led by INTERPOL demonstrate what is possible when nations collaborate. That's it for this week. If you found value in this breakdown, hit like, comment with your favorite story, and subscribe to stay ahead of the chaos. This is CyberDev signing off, helping you stay safe, one click at a time.